Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing Charlemagne in the 5-minute pool on ICC. I just had a game against Curly in the 5-minute pool that I was recording, but he had some connection problems, so I decided not to post it. So I'll play e3 against this system. This is a nice little system. I actually might make a video on this in the future. I'm playing e3 on move 5. Good way to combat the Slav. It's a pretty simple system too. Basically what you do is you win the c4 pawn, and then I'm going to do this knight maneuver, so I'm going to put my knight on b3, where it's ideally placed to attack a5 is kind of the key. So he's playing an early knight e4. I don't know what that move is about. Because my dark square bishop is not a great piece in this line, so I'm not sure why he wants that piece. But probably he'll play c5 soon, I'm guessing. Yeah, I'll just play standard queen e2. I wonder if there's a reason to play queen c2, but I don't think so. Now I'll go here and see if he wants to take me. If he doesn't take my bishop, I might play bishop e1, which will open the d file a little bit, allows my rook to have more influence on the center. Yeah, I think I will play this move. I don't like his queen on c7. The queen really belongs on b6 in this line. So he's giving me a reason to put this rook here and x-ray his queen. So he really should put that queen on b6. And he could play it now if he wants. I might go bishop b5 next move. This is a useful move. Just trying to clear the file. And now I'm threatening to take on d7 perhaps, and then take on c5. Yeah, I think that is a threat. Because if I were to take on d7, he takes with a rook, I take. And yeah, eventually I would win something. Okay, so he's doing this, blocking me from playing bishop takes d7. So if I take him, he takes with the queen, a4 will be weak. I think I'll just take. He takes with the knight. I want to play this knight to d4, but he takes on h2. That's too bad for me. Huh, maybe I don't have much here. How about this knight in? That way, if he takes, I can take with this knight and it'll fork his queen and his bishop. That looks like a good compromise. He might not take me. Yeah, he just moves his bishop. I think he's going to go queen b7 soon. Queen b7 might be the intended follow-up. Maybe I go back bishop c4? It's kind of weird, but it might be best. Yeah, let's do that. I don't like the prospect of him going queen b7. So now I've freed up the b5 square for my knight to jump to if I can. Yeah, this game has taken a unique course for this line. This doesn't typically happen. All right, I will take. Do I want to jump to b5 or do I want to play pawn b3? b3 is a weakening move. I don't especially like that move, but I might have to play it. Yeah, I don't like it, but I'll do it. The reason why I don't like it is like c3 is now really weak, and so is b3. b3 is going to be a target for the rest of the game. Just go h3, play a waiting move. I think I might be worse now, though. This is not that great of a position. Because I can't exchange his knights. His knights are very pesky. It's hard to exchange them, though. Okay, let's just go here. Maybe I'll try to double up my rooks on the c-file. He can get a queen-bishop battery with queen d6 or something, but I have h2 covered by my knight, so I shouldn't be concerned about that yet. Yeah, his outposted knights are better than my outposted knights right now, unfortunately. Maybe he's transferring his queen to g6. Really? You're going to do that? Okay, well, that weakens c5, though. So maybe king f1's a good idea? Sure. Just prophylaxis against the queen coming into h2 after a knight trade happens. Now, which way to take? I think I can actually take with the queen. Because I don't fear queen h2 now. Yeah, let's just take with the queen. Now he has to be careful because there's a pin on the c-file. He can't easily get out of this pin. Yeah, g6 is a good move. Knight b5 does not win anything, unfortunately. He has defenses. Looks like it should win something. My bishop is awful. Need to figure out a way to get that in the game. Let's just go here. Just to make it even harder for him to move his knight eventually. He might play h5. But also with this move, I'm kind of playing around with the idea of knight f5 again. Oh, maybe here? Ooh, that might give him a reason to move his knight. I don't know. Alright, I have a wacky idea. Let's just try it. Queen e2, I'm going to try to come to b5 with my queen. This does allow him to play queen h2, though. But I think it's okay. Because if queen h2, I can play queen b5. And he gives a check on h1. I put my king here. I don't see a way he can seriously hurt me at that point. Because he can take g2, but his knight on c5 will hang. So I think I'm okay. Yeah, but what are you going to do about this move? I mean, bishop a7? If bishop a7, I take on a5, and I'm starting to clean up those pawns. So that can't be what he wants to do. It's a little too late for queen h2 now. Just checking to make sure that nothing is hanging if I do this. Doesn't look like it. I'll probably play queen b5 after he goes bishop here, even though I could take that pawn on b4. I want to be able to take it with my bishop and skewer his knight to his queen. Yeah, this is no good for him. He's going to be losing material, I believe, very soon, unless he pulls a rabbit out of his hat. I'm probably going to get like 2 minor pieces for the rook, plus this pawn or 2 that I've already won. Like, yeah, like here I can take the 2 minor pieces. Should I, or is there anything better? Don't know that it's worth considering something better. Yeah, this is just simple and good. Pre-move that. I gotta be slightly careful. He's probably gonna bring his queen into h2 because he can't do much else. Queen e7 maybe? No, let's just play this safe. He's gonna go queen h2 because he has nothing else he can do. Nope, doesn't play it. Surprised. Let's just go here. Stop his queen from coming in. If he goes queen h2, I'm going to play knight f3 and
check.
More or less trap his queen. His d5's hanging and I can run my pawns. He kind of has to play
check.
Like queen h2 or something, but he can't now. I kind of got his queen trapped. Now I'll just start running my pawns. His queen is completely trapped. You can play king f8, but that doesn't do much. This is a really funny position. Yeah, he can do that, but I can actually just do this and then
check.
Go a7.
Check.
Yeah.
Check.
And this is going to be over pretty soon. Provided I don't make some gigantic blunder.
Check.
Yeah, let's just do this.
Check.
Go threaten some checkmate.
Check. Check. Check.
He's got to run with his king.
Check.
Let's check here. Just make sure we don't get like back rank checkmated somehow. Okay, try and trade a little bit.
Check. Check. Check.
All right, we're gonna do this and then run the pawn. He can win my bishop. That's fine by me.
Check.
Okay.
Check.
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 He's got to go to the back rank now. And we got
checkmate.
Okay. Well, he played it down to the end. I think a lot of people would have resigned, but I probably cut that closer than I should have. Okay, let's go back. So, yeah, this is a line that I kind of like playing for white from time to time. It's an especially good blitz line because theoretically it shouldn't bring white much of an advantage. But the idea is to try to win the c4 pawn without making the traditional concession in the Slav, which is to play a4 in hopes of stopping black from playing b5. So in this case, you're playing e3 and encouraging them to play b5, and then you undermine the pawn with a4. He played b4, I played knight back to a2, so now he has two pawns under attack, and he should save his b pawn and let his c pawn just drop off. So he did that. And this knight on a2 looks very strange, but it's headed back to a useful post by taking this knight c1 to b3 route. So I don't think the move order matters a whole lot here. Like, a lot of times white will castle first and then initiate this knight maneuver, but I've seen people play it either way. I don't recall seeing knight e4 before. I'm not sure if that's a good move. Probably not, because, like I said, he doesn't necessarily want to take my bishop. But then again, I had a real hard time with this knight for much of the game. I was liking my position, though. Like, right about here, I would say. Maybe I began misplaying it. I mean, bishop b5 seems pretty good. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the computer says I misplayed it right around here. It wants to take and then play queen b5, initiating a trade. So then if take, what if a4 here? I can take on c5, and maybe his b4 pawn is weak at the end of this line. Knight d takes, knight takes. Yeah, so if knight takes, maybe I was thinking about taking here, but maybe not. This a pawn becomes dangerous. And if I take on b4 in this position, what happens? Knight b3, okay. Yeah, I suspect the position after bishop b5 isn't as good as I thought it was. Take, knight fd2 it wants to play now. Yeah, but how does that jive with my a pawn? Take, can he just take here? Okay, but I take on c5, I suppose. Yeah, because when I started getting overly concerned about the a pawn, that's when my advantage was let slip. So, this seems like such a natural move, but bishop d5, just moving the bishop is a good response. Because he doesn't want to have to take and allow my knight into b5. That gives me better chances. I've often seen in this line that the determination about who gets the advantage depends on if black is able to attack a4 or if white's able to attack a5 more effectively. And here he's probably winning that battle. He's got a5 protected, but I have problems with my a pawn. And here I swapped and then played b3. Yeah, I think that's a weak move. Even when I played this move, I kind of had a feeling it was a weak move. Knight b5 should have been preferred. Okay. Well, I saw knight b5, but I thought he could take here. And I can't regain the pawn like that because he has bishop takes h2, the discovery on the undefended rook. But I guess I don't have to play to win the pawn back. I can take and then knight d4, and I have some compensation. Looks a little nebulous to me. That's what the engine says, though. Yeah, because I had a real tough time dealing with his knights, his actively placed knights here. This knight positioned to attack b3. This other knight poised to go into c3 at a moment's notice. They trump my knights. My knight on f3 is doing nothing. My knight on d4 is a good piece. Also, my bishop is worse than his. So, if you take away all the minor pieces here, this position is just about equal. But He's winning the minor piece battle. I'm actually kind of surprised the computer says this is equal. Wants me to play this queen b5 move again. And I bet if queen trade, take with a pawn. Yeah, and I at least have the c6 square to work with then. I played some semi-waiting moves. I think he like misjudged my pressure on the c-file, though. He was playing for a pretty direct attack, but there's not really much of an attack to be had. I mean, if I keep h2 defended, he doesn't have anything else, really. It's not like he's attacking with his pawns or whatnot. Okay, here I could have played queen b5 directly. Oh yeah, that's a good point, because if he takes, I can take with the knight. I forgot about that. Yeah. I ran with the king, just kind of on instinct. Prophylaxis against his queen getting in, but that wasn't necessary. Yeah, and then I kind of wasted some time. I don't think queen g4 was particularly good. But he's in big trouble here, yeah, because my queen gets into b5. Pretty much a losing position. And I start picking off his pawns. Yeah, and this is losing. I was surprised he didn't bring the queen into h2, though, a little earlier. I was intending to do this, this little queen trap idea. So that worked out well in the game. And the ending was kind of funny. When he played check, maybe he was just anticipating I would play king e2.
Check.
Somehow this became a lot closer than it should have been, though. Like, after I was able to... oh, bishop b4 check was winning on the spot. Whoops, totally missed that.
Check.
But after I did this, and like I was so proud of myself for being in a position where he has a queen, but he can't stop my pawn from queening.
Check.
I was so proud of myself, I probably missed some easier ways to win.
Check.
I'm sure I did in time pressure.
Check. 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 Check.
Yeah, like numerous ways. I'm not going to point out the ways because this is such a massively winning position, but it's a good thing I played g4 because that would have been very embarrassing to run into queen d1 mate.
Check. Check. Check.
I had enough time to execute it, so despite his stubbornness.
Check.
So, all right, interesting game. And if you guys want to give this system a try, feel free. And like I said, I'm thinking about doing some videos on openings at some point. I don't want to put a timeline on that because I've been pretty busy lately, and doing this channel does take some time. But I hope to start a series on certain openings. And my hope is that I can cover this line, this 5e3 Slav line, in one of my initial videos. So it's a decent weapon. Provoking b5 and then going a4. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll be back tomorrow with another Blitz video. Thanks for watching, guys.